Hi, everyone, and welcome to Variant Roles. I am your host and game master for this afternoon edition of The Bleeding Edge, Dan Gaston at MadSciDM on Twitter. And we are here for some Cypher System shenanigans in this transhumanist cyberpunk sci-fi setting of my own creation. And we have some returning faces and, everyone returning, as in they've played on Variant Roles. We know them, we love them, they are awesome. But we've got some returning Cypher players and a brand new Cypher player, Emma, joining us for her first Cypher experience, which we always love to do, as that is part of the intention of this game series, is to teach people Cypher, bring them in, and show them why it's my favorite game. So I will let people go around and introduce themselves. They can let us know where we can find them on Twitter and tell us a little bit about the character they are bringing this afternoon, And I'll give the synopsis of what we are doing. And yes, I am Dan Gaston, and I use he, him pronouns. And let's start with Emma.
Oh God. Okay. So I'm Emma. You can find me on Twitter at MKHansen. And today I will be playing Glitch, who is kind of a gruff and a bit spicy and sassy tech explorer who loves computers. I'm not sure what else. She's got a bionic arm. So I'm excited. We'll see how this goes.
Excellent. This seems on brand and on point all around. So, all right.
But I use she, her pronouns, and Glitch uses she, they pronouns.
Oh, okay. Excellent. I can do a quick fix on that.
I'm
all
sorry, I
right.
should have told you.
No, that's okay. So while I am doing that, why don't we go over to Matt?
That's me. Hi. I'm Matthew. I am at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I am the Dungeon Master for the Ghost of the Machine on Twitch TV/Dice Priori. It's a 5e show about memory, identity, magic, and making my players cry. You see him pronouns, and I'm playing Joseph, who is a kind of lightning adept who rides the lightning. And he's very charming, and he comes from a very privileged background. And he's currently inhabited by an ancient lightning AI that he kind of agreed to last session. So we're going to see how that goes. He also uses he, him pronouns.
Excellent. Yeah, I am intrigued. I feel that this alien AI is just like such a great mechanism for intrusions. It's like a warlock patron.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, series of poor life choices.
Excellent. All right. Let's go with Morgan.
Hi, I am Morgan. I use they. You can find me around on Twitter at thefemdm. Today I am playing Evna Trench, who uses she, her pronouns. She is a impulsive technological explorer who pilots StarCraft. She just has very little patience and has a temper. And she was kind of based off of I want to play a lesbian Han Solo. So, yeah.
Perfect. I am all
yes.
Excellent. All right, and last but certainly not least, Sam.
Hi, I'm Samuel. I use he, him, and you can find me over on Twitter as Eldritch Warlock. And I am very, very warm in this outfit right now, so I'll probably start taking the jacket off later. But for now, I'm dressed as my character, Nevda Urel. Leather jacket, waistcoat, shirt and tie. Nevda is a bit of a shy character. He's a clever warrior who wields two weapons at once. And he too uses he, him.
Excellent. Great. All right. So we are on Mars. Mars has become the glistening hub of the solar system, given that Earth is uninhabitable at the moment. So Mars is the center of human civilization in the universe, essentially. It is a gleaming city now well into its, or gleaming planet rather, now well into its second century of terraforming. And the Mariner Valley, home to a couple of cities strung out along its length, is pretty inhabitable. You can basically walk around. There's some kind of technological field that helps keep atmosphere in and provide a magnetic field. But in the lowlands, essentially, you can walk around, with no protective gear, no need for that. But the highlands of Mars are still not yet terraformed and sort of lower atmosphere and that sort of thing. But you are in the main city, Mariner City. It is a city of neon, gleaming steel, chrome, but everything is, of course, covered with a fine layer of grime and disrepair and a certain seedy atmosphere. Indeed. You all work for Acheron Security, a private contractor that deals mostly in security concerns of various kinds and investigations. But you are all also agents of Project Watchtower, which is a secretive organization seeking to protect humanity from existential threats of all kinds, and in particular is pretty suspicious of Monolith Systems, probably the largest of the hypercorporations in human-controlled space. And you have been tasked with investigating an act of sabotage. A Monolith factory that creates security drones has exploded, and Monolith wants it investigated. They're particularly concerned because the security drones for this factory are employed in security and maintenance of the space elevator, which is one of the reasons why Mars is so profitable, making it easy of getting things up and down its gravity well. Acheron has pulled some strings, or rather, Project Watchtower has pulled some strings to make sure that you all are the Acheron employees tasked with this investigation, because subject of interest number 1, Tarson Valora, as the suspect, is also a Watchtower operative. It's known that she belongs to a radical splinter sect of the Anarchists Alliance, who has long wanted to blow up the space elevator and deny it to Mars in favor of the outer systems and the anarchist collectives who live there. So you have to figure out if Tarson indeed is the saboteur, or if she is just, this is being pinned on her. And one way or the other, either bring her to justice or get her the hell out of Dodge and make sure that Project Watchtower is not exposed. So, you are on the mean streets of Mariner City, surrounded by chrome and neon, shops selling all manners of goods, capsule hotels, all of the fine cyberpunk aesthetics you could hope for. So where do you guys want to start your investigation? Your main piece of information is obviously where the factory is. But you could take other avenues of investigation if you choose, seeing what you could pull out of, security feeds, computer systems from the city. Totally up to you.
I think it's kind of a nice city despite all the grime. I quite like the neon. What do you all think?
I hate it. I hate it. I must admit, it's too loud, too busy, too many eyes.
I think it's my kind of town.
Yes. I mean, we could even, schlep off a bit, maybe see some of the local color before attending to our duties.
Focus, Joseph. We have a job to be doing.
All work, no play. All work, no play. That's all I'm saying.
You can play afterwards.
Well,
if you don't take offense to that.
Joseph might have a good point. Maybe it's worth checking out to see if Tarson has any like local haunts and
Right.
checking out her social kind of areas in the city versus digging into her professional life.
Right. I mean, workers like to. This was a factory. It has workers. Workers love to, go drink after work after a hard 9 to 5, as they say.
I would have done
Yes.
some. I have my flex lore, and
Yep.
I would have done some research on a specific location in Mars. So I'm assuming I researched the Mariners Valley.
Yep.
And I would have researched kind of like what the kind of like what people do in this city, what is like kind of like what is the vibe, the cultural social aspect, and see if I can find where Tarson might have like got in.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So Mariner City has obviously some distinct districts that make up the city. There is the strip, right? So there is the main strip, which is kind of like your entertainment hub, high class casinos. This is one of the cleanest areas of town, obviously. Kind of runs right down the middle along the bottom of the Mariner Valley and through the middle part of the city. There is various a little bit more ritzy neighborhoods where people live and work. And then there are the terraces, which go up one of the slopes of the Mariner Valley. Because the idea here, as opposed to on Earth, given the terraforming, as you climb higher, it's actually like the air quality is worse. You've got more pollution as things kind of accumulate. So that's the grungier areas of town. And then a lot of the factories kind of lay out in the sprawl on the western edge of the city. So there's a lot of, like, that's where the factory would be, for instance. And then there is the port, which is outside of the city proper. It is up out of the valley. And that is where the space elevator is.
Oh, all right.
And then you get out into the highlands and there's like farming operations and like domed places, domed establishments where people are growing food and all of that sort of thing. But that's well out of town. That's out in the boonies. So the terraces is where a lot of like low class workers tend to live. So like grunt labor in the factories would work there. People whose jobs haven't yet been automated for whatever reason still live there.
Okay.
And then there's the areas around the factory itself out in the sprawl.
Okay. So maybe we could check out over in the terraces, or we can maybe check to see if there's a local hangout near the factories that people would go when they get off work.
Yes, sounds good to me. You just lead me
Which
to
one?
Oh, I'll leave that up to you. Just when we get there, I'll do some charming.
Let's go to the factory district.
Smashing.
All right. Yeah, so you guys want to head out to the sprawl, into the factory. You have the address for the factory itself. And there are indeed, of course, in the vicinity of the factories, there would be some super working class bars and things like that where factory workers go after work.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Pick one.
Yeah, probably the closest one to the factory in question.
All right. So there is a bar there, and it is called the Silvered Gimbal.
Oh no, okay.
This is gonna be good.
Gonna be good, Tater. Oh, I quite like it. It's got a nice name, and it has almost every single window is intact. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rundown, low-slung, single-story structure. When you enter, it's relatively dimly lit. There's neon signs advertising various brands of beer and alcohol. There's gambling machines in a section. People are doing something like vaping or smoking various substances. And there's a bar across the back that's sort of like a formed polymer that looks like wood, but you know that there's no way in hell that it's wood because real wood is just way too expensive. So it's like a faux plastic wood with some, metal bar rail and a synthetic bartender. So the bartender behind the bar it could be an actual person or an artificial intelligence. It's hard to say, but the body at least is totally like an android body. Pretty spare chassis. Looks a lot like a roughed up version of C-3PO.
Oh.
But not gold, like the silver, like protocol droid looking thing.
Oh, wow. All right. Hello, fair bartender. How are you today? Yes.
Yes. What can I get you?
I'm just an everyday man taking a drink after a hard day's labor. One of the boys.
All right. He sort of swivels and like looks you up and down. You can see his sort of robotic eyes like focusing and checking you out. Looks down and says, "Not with those loafers, he ain't."
Oh, no. I'm just a working schlup like you. I'll have a beer.
I'm gonna sit down next to you and pat you on the shoulder and be like, "You're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you.
You're trying so hard here."
I'll have your beer. Yes.
Just a beer. It's just beer.
All right. Yeah, we can get you a beer. Would you like the ale, stout? Pilsner?
Stout. I love a good stout.
That you do.
Stout fellas, but that's a stout drink.
All right. So I have played a. This is kind of funny. I've played one of the NPC deck cards here in Roll20.
Oh no!
For flavoring this NPC. So the bartender introduces himself as Donnie. And yeah, he's, although he's this like protocol droid looking, he's actually a little bit squat. And he seems a little generally reticent to give up a lot of information. Like the bartender's got to be a good listener, but it doesn't do well to spread things about your customers. But he happily serves you a beer, sort of offers out this little pad for you to put your thumbprint on to transfer the appropriate amount of credits from your bank account. Which in this case is coming from an Acheron slush fund, your premium.
So how's the crowd today there, Donnie?
And he kind of like looks around and you can see the bar is half empty. There's like, it's the middle of the working day. So there's like 3 old drunks.
After a long day's work.
It's 10:30 a.m.
10:30 in the morning. There's a couple of drunks in the corner playing cards.
All right. Oh well. I've got the day off because of what happened down there at the factory.
Oh yeah, that was quite a thing. There's going to be a lot of people out of work, unfortunately.
I hear
really
you.
Grinds my circuits,
Right, mine too. And oh yeah, I mean, what's the word? I mean, what do you think happened?
I don't know. The feeds are all up about the, anarchists, terrorists, and things like that. I mean, maybe. It's been an awful long time since any of them bombed anything here in Mariner City. Seems a little bold, you ask me.
Anarchists, really? Go ahead, Morgan.
Did anyone seem like super suspicious? I was kind of like off to the side, but I just actually take a seat on the bar counter and like with my legs over the side and like shrug my red leather jacket.
Yes.
So are you asking like if anyone in the bar looks suspicious or?
No, more like if like leading up to the incident at the factory, if like anyone who worked there or in the area just seemed suspicious.
All right. Okay. So I think we will have our first roll for the night here. As we try and get some information from old Donnie here. I am gonna say this is he's secretive. So let's say that this is actually relatively difficult. I'm gonna say this is a level 6 task to try and get the gossip or like real information out of this guy. So do you have any skills relevant to like persuasion, speaking with people?
Absolutely not.
I
Excellent.
do.
But Evan is gonna talk to someone anyways.
Absolutely. So if you want, you can spend some effort here to make the task a little bit easier.
Nah.
Because we're looking at pretty low odds of success here, right? With a task level of 6, that's a target number of 18. So
Okay, let's do. Okay, so I can spend some.
So this would
effort.
come out. Yeah, this would come out of your intellect pool for a social interaction. So it is 3 points out of your pool to spend a level of effort reduced by edge. So if you have any edge in intellect, that will subtract off of the cost.
Is there a kind of I vaguely remember from last time? Is there a way I could aid her? Spend a resource to aid her?
You can. So and in this case, you do have social skills.
I do.
So how are you gonna help her in her inquiry?
Well, I'm going to carry on just a little bit with my conversation and just say it's a damn shame if people are out of work because of the politics of others. Each of us have to, earn a living if we're going to be of any use to anyone.
All right. So so Joseph is aiding you, so that will reduce by 1. So we go from a 6 to a 5.
And then I'm gonna reduce it by 2 steps and spend 6 intellect points.
So at tier 1, you can actually only spend 1 level of
Okay.
effort. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So spend
then...
spend the 3 points, and that'll reduce it by 1. So we go from a 6 to a 5 to a 4. So you're now looking for a 12 or higher.
Okay. That is a natural 1.
That is a natural 1. All right. So a natural 1 will trigger basically an intrusion that you can't refuse on this check. Yeah. So Donnie, I mean, as far as his like synthetic android face goes, it's actually relatively articulate. It's got lots of little pieces, so it can reconfigure into appropriate expressions for when dealing with human customers. To provide bonding and empathy. It gets obviously sort of very suspicious, very guarded, and more than a little bit angry, sort of like furrows his metallic brow and says, you all look like corporate types to me. You doing poking around here, asking after fine working class folk in the factories? I don't think I much like what you're asking me.
Evna scoots off the counter and sits down on the other side of Joseph and just asks the bartender for the strongest drink he has.
He turns around and pours like a drink out from a bottle, and kind of slams it down a little hard on the table, and says, "One shot of cleaning fluid coming right up."
While all that was happening, could Nevda have had a quick scan of the room and, using his own background with criminal connections, have tried to pick out someone who looks like might be keyed into the rumour mills of the underground network, so to say?
Sure. Let's say this will be a perception sort of related task as you're looking around. In this case, you don't know exactly what the difficulty is going to be, but you think it's moderate because it's the middle of the day. This is more that there's not necessarily a lot of people around, as opposed to trying to pick them out. So, do you have a relevant skill here?
So I do have a skill related to information brokerage, considering that's his past. Would that apply to pick someone out who would have information?
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll reduce it by 1. And are you going to apply any effort?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Just in case.
Yep, so you can spend 3 points out of your intellect pool, reduced by edge if you have edge in intellect, and that will reduce it by a further step.
Okay, then. That's a 16.
Okay. You're scanning around, and at the back of the room, sort of very stereotypically, in a booth by themselves, is a tall, lanky woman. Her hair is like shaved into sort of a mohawk that goes down into a tail. She's got some obvious cybernetic enhancements. You can see sort of augmented, connected to the side of her face. A couple of piercings, a black leather jacket, dusty boots with the dust of the Martian working class. And she just has that look of someone in the information trade. She's got a pad out, sort of a computing device that she's like scanning through and appears to be doing some work on.
So while Evna was talking to the bartender, Nevda would have gone over to her and said, "Excuse me for a moment. Would you mind if I joined you just for a quick moment? A payment would be involved."
She arcs, one eyebrow, cocks it over, and just like reaches out a booted foot and slides out a chair.
Slowly
It's a free
himself.
country, but information isn't free.
Nevda just leans forward. "Oh yes, I do understand. Obviously, there is always a cost for information, and it is information I now require. I am always willing to pay or take it by other means." I'm going to push my jacket aside to reveal one of my pistols, or sidearms. As I'm sure you understand, though, it's always better when business is monetary.
So she sort of arcs the other eyebrow and just twists her lips in a little bit of smile and like glances back behind you at your other companions who you came in with and says, "Oh, honey, I assure you, it really doesn't do to toss around threats on someone else's turf."
Oh, I assure you, that was no threat. This was just a beginning of a business proposition. I seek information.
The price has just gone up.
Naturally.
And you don't even know where we started.
Naturally. I'm not exactly unfamiliar. I just wish to make sure we were on grounds where we understood one another.
Oh, I understand that you like to swing around your proverbial gun, so to speak. So I think we're on the same page. It might not be the page you want to be on, though.
Well, that's always the fun. I'm looking for certain information after the recent attack on the factory, and as I said, I am willing to pay.
Yeah, well, you tell me what kind of information you want, I tell you whether I can get it, and I tell you a price.
I'm looking for information after any individual who would have been seen hanging around the area, also someone fitting a description of an individual I'm seeking. And I'll give a very, very vague description of Tarsin. Not enough that it'd be obvious it's her, but general features.
Well, that is a mighty broad search request. That's going to give you a whole lot of non-specific information. If you want that whittled down, that's going to take some time, and it's going to cost you.
Naturally, nothing is ever free in this life after all, as I'm sure you understand.
Oh, I only operate on a fee-for-service basis, honey.
Name your price.
And she quotes you a price in credits, which is like extortionate. It is exorbitant. You could maybe funnel it off your Acheron slush fund, but you're gonna like basically blow the budget.
That is a bit rich for the blood, as I'm sure you expect. How about like for like? Information for information.
And what exactly do you have to offer me?
I've been around in the game for a while. A bit of information on Monolith as a general body. Little bits on Akron. Nothing too major, you understand?
So far, you're not exactly whetting my appetite.
How about a little something on a little organization that would keep themselves hidden? A few pointers to where to search.
Well, you're in this case gonna have to show rather than tell, because right now, I don't know what any of this is worth to me.
So Nevda's going to reach into a pocket on his waistcoat, pull out a small, I assume it's like data chips,
Yeah.
and pass it across. And it's a basic, if you will, cyber map to an old redundant safe house of the Watchtower.
All right. So she plugs it in a port. She scans it. She sort of looks at it pretty quizzically, and offers you a 30% reduction in the price that she quoted.
I think we have a business deal.
All right, well, I'll get to work. And she'll, set up basically scanning protocols to pull and collate information. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Glitch, can I offer you an intrusion, some experience?
Yes.
To make something interesting happen. All right, so you're gonna get 1 experience point for my intrusion to keep for yourself, and you can give one of your fellow players another experience.
So am I picking? Do I pick?
You get to pick who's your friend today on who you want to offer some experience to.
Okay, I'm actually going to offer experience to. Have we been listening to this conversation? Have we heard what was going on there?
Yeah, probably at least snatches of it to get the general gist of what Nevda is doing.
Okay, then I'm going to toss it over to Nevda.
Okay. All right, so Nevda, you can mark down an XP, and Emma, you can mark one down as well that you can use. So while these sort of 2 conversations are going on, you notice that in another corner of the room, there was actually not off duty, there was a Mariner City Police Department officer who was seated at one of the tables in the back, not nursing a drink. He was drinking rather heavily, and had his MCPD jacket on. So it is debatable on whether he was off duty, coming off shift, or drinking on the job. But he has left the room to go to a bathroom, and left his Mariner City Police Department hand terminal, pad, on the table.
I'm going right over there.
All right.
Okay, so I would like to hop on there and I'm assuming I can hack this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or get
So
some information.
yeah. So let's just see here. So you've got a couple of abilities that you can do to get pretty free access to at least relatively minor pieces of information without requiring further rolls, right? To like break into the system more. So yeah, you've got your hacker ability, which costs you 2 intellect points to use to gain
Okay.
quick access to a desired bit of information in a computer or similar device. So
Okay.
like something that you could quickly sort of query and access, like a single Google search, like, how many teaspoons are in a cup, right? And it pops up like,
Yeah.
so like a little bit more detailed than that, but, relatively quick information.
Okay. Um, so I'm gonna use that ability, and I'm gonna see if I can. Um, let's see. Um, I guess if we're looking for specific information about Tarson, is there a way to like access like security cameras, or to see like where she's been in the last like you know when however a period of time?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, the computer it wasn't unlocked, but you access it. What does it look like, by the way, when you access an interface with a computer system? Are you using it relatively normally, or with your like cybernetic arm? Do you
Oh,
have
if
like
if
extra
I could,
stuff?
yeah, if I have some like extra stuff on my arm, if I could like lay it down and like click a couple buttons on there, and these little wires will like come out and connect to the laptop or computer or whatever it is
Yeah,
interface.
yeah. It's basically like actually they look almost exactly like if you've watched Altered not Altered Carbon, The Expanse. They just got like clear glass
Yes,
plates
yeah, yeah, yeah.
essentially that are like,
Yep.
yeah. So it's like a translucent or transparent iPad,
Okay,
right?
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, so your little wires connect to it. And you basically run the query on Tarson Valora, and immediately you get the info dump of the APB that's been put out.
Okay.
So there's an APB out for Tarson Valora as a suspected terrorist. People are cautioned, so the police are supposed to like not, dangerous suspect, known expertise in explosives and firearms. Do not approach. Signal for backup. Blah 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 blah. Like call in SWAT.
Okay.
And it does list that her last known location where she was staying in the city is a capsule hotel in the terraces.
Okay. And is it like, do we actually have the name of it?
Yeah, it's called Sweet Dreams.
Ugh. Okay, that's spicy. Okay, cool. Is there anything else, like just off the bat, just taking a look at it, is there anything that I see on here that might be interesting that I can also swipe before I leave and this cop
Yeah,
guy
so
comes back?
in the APP data packet, there's like a photograph of Tarson Valora. There's some grainy images. There is like a brief rundown of the explosion. And then there's other surface level information that's pretty quickly accessible. Would be other APBs that the police department has out. Um, there's probably some low level intelligence about the area that you're in, like who the local street gangs are and, like that kind of thing.
Okay. Um, no, I guess I'll leave it at that for now, that we have a name or a hotel that she might be staying at, I think. Yeah. I feel like there's more that I should do and I don't know what it is. Okay.
No, that's good. You have like a location that wasn't in your briefing. You didn't have
Okay.
that. Acheron didn't have that information. So
Okay. I'm gonna disconnect and slide back over to the group. And I'm gonna kind of like give him like a little like, I'm really bad at social interaction, so I'm gonna give him like the weirdest wink ever and like kind of nod that we should maybe talk not in front of this bartender who doesn't like us.
You have something in your eye there.
I yeah, you I Yes.
I grabbed Joseph
perhaps
by
you
the
could help me
collar,
outside
drag
and get
him
this
to
out
the
of
corner.
my eye.
Oh, okay. I'll help you with that, apparently. Whoa!
Yes. I think I'll need both of you, and I'm going to grab them by the jackets and like drag out. Thank you so much. You've been great, bartender. Really.
It was lovely to have met you!
Dabda, you can stay. I see you're doing something, but we'll be right outside. And I'm going to drag them outside, and I'm going to make sure there's like not too many people around and relay this information to them.
Oh my goodness, a hotel. That's lovely.
Not the kind of hotel you're thinking of, Joseph.
Excuse me, every hotel is that kind of hotel.
Yep, you're doing great, sweetie.
Would my conversation would it have ended before everyone was dragged outside?
Your conversation would have ended at roughly the same time.
Okay then. So I'll slide over another data chip with a dead drop email, essentially. One use only email to have the information sent to and then follow after the rest.
Perfect. Yep, absolutely.
So would I have arrived in time to hear Glitch relate it, or?
Yeah, you basically followed them out the door. Yeah.
Okay then, just checking.
So I suppose we can go snoop around in the hotel and try to find more about this intriguing person.
I mean, I do have some information coming, but it will take time. So if we can look over a hotel, I think that might be best.
Smashing. Let's go make some sweet dreams of our own, shall we?
No. Just.
But why not? I only meant that we go have a nice time with our investigation.
With you, Joseph. That's never clear. It's always assume the worst.
Fair enough. Off we go to my favorite place where you can sleep, drink, and do other things.
It's things like that, Joseph, that make me not trust you.
I don't want you to trust me. I just want you to listen to me. Don't care if you trust me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
As fascinating as this is, we should go, and I'm going to start walking.
I'll follow them.
Yeah, that way.
Do we? I don't know where I'm going. Do I know where I'm going?
You do.
Did I get like a location? Because I just took off.
Yeah. So data connections in general are ubiquitous. Most people have basically the equivalent of like Google Glass, right? So they wear like glasses of some kind that can project data information, and there is like a citywide free access like public data network that is riddled with freaking advertisements, because Mars is run by the corporations. So there's like advertising everywhere. People who have more money have like a retinal implant, so they don't wear glasses. They're not reliant on an external device. You all, as like more elite agents and operatives, actually have like neural implants directly and can remotely access a lot of data systems. So
like you wears the glasses anyway. Just
and some people do, possibly for disguise, right? You need the neural implant when you travel through the Obelisk network, so it's required. But you can essentially pull up like a HUD, right, with like Google Maps and like plot locations and just transit. The hotel is in the terraces, so it's on the other side of town. But you can essentially like, hail Mars Uber and and ride over.
Perfect.
Oh, I am so down for that. A ride share with these guys.
I mean, I don't go anywhere if it's not by Uber, so...
Moober.
Yeah.
Moober. Yeah, and of course Moober has totally eliminated drivers, right? So they don't even have the pesky need for contractors anymore. It's all just like self-driving cars.
When we all shuffle into the car, I'm going to go, okay, everyone, selfie time.
And after that selfie, I'm just imagining, like, in the TV show that this is, it's just like this, like, straight 10 seconds of us in the car in silence awkwardly before we get to the location.
Oh yeah.
You are all in silence. Joseph doesn't shut up. I've got 40,000 followers on Marstagram, so we're all good.
I'm like, Glitch is always chewing bubblegum, and she's gonna blow the biggest bubble like right in your face as you're talking, like trying to aim it across, like so that it kind of shuts you up momentarily.
I love being a social influencer.
And the entire time, Nev just had his face in his hand. As soon as Joseph said selfie time, face in hand to hide his face.
Oh.
And he stayed that way the rest of the time. Just in silence, just, no, with his head in his hand.
We are doing great.
I'm taking pictures and posting them on Instagram when we're on basically a secret mission.
Yep.
Content.
Cheers. Live from Acheron. You're tagging the Acheron security. All right. So the Moober moves through Mariner City and then like climbs up into the terraces. It's not super high up into the terraces, but it is this like cramped, grimy hotel. The whole thing looks like it was formed out of like a single, like it was basically like 3D printed, right? So it's just like this rough polymer shell of a building with a course flickering neon sign above the door that says "Sweet Dreams," spelled out in a weird font. It doesn't look very professional. It's the equivalent of Comic Sans, basically, like flickering.
Papyrus!
It's got these automated doors that open when you approach, but they're a little too slow. So like you approach and the doors are supposed to just open, but then you have to stop and like wait for the door to like finish sliding open to let you in the lobby. And it's grimy, and there's like a set of elevators and like a concierge desk. No one appears to be manning it, but when you get partway in, a little light sort of shines down as a hollow projector sort of projects a holographic form behind the desk that then says, "Hello, and welcome to Sweet Dreams. I am the concierge AI. How may I help you? You can call me Sweet or Dream, as you prefer."
And Nevdo is just going to slowly push Glitch forward.
You've got this, darling.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Sweet. I don't know why you guys picked me.
It's funny. It's funny to watch.
What?
It's funny to watch you struggle. Now go on.
Thanks for the encouragement, Dick. We would we are here to do we need a room? We need a room? Do we need a room? Are we in a room?
We lost.
You see her like start sweating. She's like completely panicking right now.
What was this lady's name that we're tracking down?
Tarson
Valora.
Tarson here, I'm gonna say, has lost the key. She's something's wrong with her, and I'll use the technology term, like the data pad, whatever key, and needs a new key to her room. She has terrible difficulty talking to others.
I need to recharge.
So the hologram like is constantly sort of like flickering, right? Like it's like a low rent projector, and it just says running facial recognition software to confirm.
Oh,
And
I have
it,
a
like-
cipher for this.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
What cipher are
perfect.
you using?
I have it's a visual displacement device, projects holographic images of the wearer to confuse attackers. Can I use it to just basically disguise her as
Perfect.
Tarzan? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So play that cipher card out of your hand.
It's perfect.
There you go. So we can just do it. Visual displacement device. All right. So I'm imagining it's like a little like device that you basically like pull out and like throw onto Glitch, and it sort of connects, and then this like holographic disguise sort of comes up over her face that you sort of rapidly program with the data package of Tarson, and so Glitch sort of becomes Tarson. Roll a d6 for me, because we got to see here what the level of the cipher is. Because for things like this in cipher, for success, we compare the level of the cipher or NPC to the level of the other NPC.
Interesting.
That's a 6.
Excellent. All right, so it's a 6 level cipher. Definitely, this is a low rent AI. It is not a level 6 AI. So the thing comes up and pops over, and just as it's running the facial recognition, and the AI says, "Confirmed. Welcome back, Miss Valora. Please insert." No, oh yeah, because it's a replacement key, so not resetting it. It asks you to like basically take your like hand terminal, like your pad, and place it in the receptacle, and it will reload it.
Okay, I do that. And as like Glitch is like trying to smile like naturally, but it looks so grotesque because she's just like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
And
All
it's
right.
on Tarson's face too.
Yeah,
What does
yeah.
Tarson look like?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Tarson is quite tall. What does Glitch look like? That's a good question as well, to compare the two here a little bit.
Yeah, Glitch is like she's around like 5'9", and she's
Okay.
got like really messy red hair, and yeah, I don't know what other details you need, but she's kind of like thin, like she clearly doesn't eat enough. She
Yeah.
looked fucking tired.
Yeah. Okay. So Tarson is also very thin and lean, but quite a lot taller, like well over 6 foot. Tarson grew up in a low G environment, so she is tall and lanky, and has her head shaved. Otherwise, like she's got a thin face, fairly strong jaw, and she's got like a prominent scar as well. But yeah, so this sort of all shimmers out over your face, and it doesn't match the height, obviously, but it's just running facial recognition software. Apparently, it's not doing full biometric scanning. And yeah, and so your pad chimes that it sort of loads in a cryptographic key that is paired to the key for the door.
Thank you so much. Boy, that was rough.
Happy to be of service. A reminder that payment has not been received for the last 5 days. Charging now to account will be due. Authorized payment.
5 days.
Yeah. I like look around at the group and I'm like, what the fuck do I say? Yes.
Can we charge it to the Akron credit card?
Isn't that a terrible idea?
Can we charge it to your credit card, Joseph?
Sure.
And the hologram sort of gestures to like a terminal where you can thumbprint. And basically the information came up that the previous payments had constantly declined for the last 5 days, so it needs a new method of payment.
I happily give my own personal credit card.
Thanks for taking one for the time. Thank you. How does she talk?
It's not very much. This hotel does not cost very much money at all.
I hand over my platinum concierge class card over, and I just stare at Nevda, and I point to the grime that you described. I'm like, every hotel is this kind of hotel. Take my card back.
What's Joseph's last name?
Humphrey.
Humphrey. So the AI, like when you pay, the hologram sort of shimmers and like almost morphs into a little bit of a different form. Like it sort of becomes much more refined looking. And, you know, intonation shifts and it just says, welcome to our hotels, Mr. Humphreys. We see that you have not resided within Sweet Dreams before. Nevertheless, thank you for your third-party payment. 1 point has been added to your Platinum membership card, usable at all of our chains, including our more expensive, where you normally stay.
Just look at the party.
Will you be joining Miss Valora in residence?
Intimately.
Would you like us to upgrade you to our full privacy suite?
No, I want to keep the current room. I like the current room a lot. It's wonderful.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. I meant, would you like our deluxe discretion package employed?
Of course.
Excellent. Authorizing payment now. So basically the hotel is gonna make sure that it doesn't keep an actual record of you staying here?
Oh. Discretion.
You have a bimbo clause?
I mean, are you honestly surprised?
Joseph, can I intrude as well?
Yes.
Excellent. So 1 point of experience for you. Who would you like to give the other one to?
To Glitch.
All right. There is like a mental communication through your neural interface from a smooth sounding AI voice that just says, most interesting. This is my first opportunity to study your artificial intelligences. I need to learn more.
And how would you like to learn more? How can I help you with that?
I need one of my subroutines loaded into this place's computer network. I think your companion might be able to help you.
Oh, that can be arranged.
I would like this to happen now, please.
Of course. I don't know how this is going to work. You know what? I have some personal information that I would like safely stored in the hotel's, digitally secure deposit. If my Glitch, if you could just help me, there's something I'd like to store in the hotel.
Yeah, I can do that. What are you storing?
It's private.
Yeah, what are you storing?
It's very private.
Is it like nudes? It's nudes, isn't it?
It is nudes. How'd you know?
I know you.
Yes. My memory is getting very full, so I need to offload some things temporarily.
Yeah, sure. Can I have one? Not for any weird purposes or anything like that.
You're more than welcome to them.
Awesome. Let's do this. Okay, so is there like a is the hologram still there?
Yeah, the hologram is still there. It basically when Joseph said that it needed to store some data, it was like, oh, of course, only our finest services for our finest customers.
Okay.
Matt doesn't know anything about technology, so except for the low-level template support that I do.
So is there like a computer system that the hologram's letting us have access to right now?
It absolutely is. So the question, Joseph, is if you're gonna ask Glitch to do something a little beyond, because of course, if you were honestly just loading data from your terminal like into it, you'd basically just set up a transmission. You wouldn't need any help to do that. But the AI is telling you that it needs to run some special things to make sure it doesn't just end up in a computer sandbox. Like, it doesn't want to end up in computer jail. It wants more extensive network. So it gives you some instructions.
Okay.
And you basically know, like, without all the technobabble, that you basically need to ask Glitch to not just load the data, but to basically carry out a bit of a computer intrusion to make sure that your data goes into the whole system.
All right. So I'm gonna look at Glitch and say, listen, we're gonna go deeper with this one. We're gonna, hack the mainframe, as it were. That way we've got a little piece of ourselves in this hotel and can track any updates, that kind of thing. Gotta go deeper here.
Yes.
Are you ready for that?
I'm always ready for that.
Perfect.
In a non-sexual way.
Of course. Women, please. Occasionally.
Yep. I'm gonna lightly, awkwardly pat you.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Anyway, I'm gonna talk to the computer now. So how does this go down, Dan?
All right. So we're gonna do it sort of two stages. So one, you can use. I'm gonna say if you spend the intellect point, your data jack ability is probably the most appropriate thing here.
Okay.
So that costs 1 intellect point to sort of activate. You don't need to set up any special computer access because it is giving you access to a computer system. But you're going to jack in, and this data jack is going to act as an asset in what you're attempting. So this is going to be a hacking attempt. I'm going to tell you that the difficulty level on this is going to start out at a 5. So it's not super hard. It's like a moderate difficulty. The asset will reduce it from a 5 to a 4.
Okay.
And then we start applying skills and things like that. So you have a skill, you're trained in computer science, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that skill will also apply. So we're going from a 4 to a 3.
Okay.
And do you want to spend any effort on this task?
Yes.
All right. So
Sure.
another 3 intellect points. So you're spending 4 intellect total.
Okay.
And that reduces
I
it.
have nothing to help.
So that reduces it from a 3 to a 2. So all you have to roll is a 6 or higher.
You've got this, darling.
Okay, cool.
While they're doing this, is there encrypted information that's appearing or anything like that on the screens or whatever?
I don't think so. This would be all sort of there is a data port and a screen, but it's sort of just showing a loading screen or something. Because then basically all of the data transference is happening in embedded systems and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if your question is, does anything look funny? Is when you see that loading bar, basically how much data is being loaded into the system, it's real big.
Listen, I've got terabytes of nudes on this thing.
So I got a 16.
Excellent. Awesome. So you transfer it pretty easily. So now the question is, do you, Glitch, want to examine anything about the data stream?
100%.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. So you'll have a separate task for sort of analyzing the data as it's flowing through.
Okay.
This is a hell of a lot harder because it is basically a very powerful alien AI.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this is starting out at an 8.
Okay.
So it starts out as an impossible task, right? Because
Cool.
it's times 3.
Yep.
But you have a direct data connection. So I'm going to say that is an asset. So we go from an 8 to a 7. So it's still impossible.
Yep.
But your computer science skill totally applies here. So that brings it to a 6.
Okay.
And if you have any ciphers, or obviously you can apply effort.
Um,
Can I assist her somehow? I have a skill called Decipher, which
So the question here would be, you have to do it live while the data is transferring. You sort of have to get connected into this network. So, which is not a no, but obviously you need sort of the permission of both Joseph and Glitch to do this.
So, I like.
You could be sending like little encrypted like text messages with Glitch while like Glitch and Joseph are talking.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on, because I would have like noticed, because I was with Joseph when the last thing happened, that he's starting to act suspicious in a similar way. And I'm being like sending like that kind of like telepathy but not telepathy thing to Glitch, being like, what this is weird stuff, right? This is weird stuff.
Yeah, we're having like a moment.
Yeah. And then I'm
as bad as I am at understanding, like social interactions, when it comes to at least computer stuff and understanding when something a little weird.
And I will say, not everyone gets a peek at my unmentionables.
Well, so they're basically just like firing text messages back and forth without physically doing anything.
And then I'm basically gonna say, like, if you are willing to share with me some of the info, I have I'm pretty good at deciphering code.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So the assistants basically, like, Glitch can sort of just like tap you in sort of remotely to the data stream as it's going through. And so your decipher, is that a skill or an ability?
It's an ability. It takes 1 intellect point.
Okay, so you can spend your intellect point to activate it. And that basically works as an additional asset. So we're now going from a 7 to a 6 before you spend any effort, Glitch. So it's in the realm of possibility. And do you want to spend 3 points of intellect to apply effort here as well?
Hell yes.
All right, so that takes it to a 5. So we're looking at a 15 or higher.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else that can be applied here, or am I rolling now?
Let's see.
You can use your XP to roll again if you want, right?
You can spend XP to roll again, if you roll. I would say here, if you also still have the points to spend 2 to activate your machine interface, then I'm going to consider that having something transferring through your mind is also the same as touching it. And so having direct access would also reduce it by 1 more. So then that would reduce it to a 4. So 12 or higher.
And that was oh my god, this is going to be so crappy if I spend all of this and then roll shitty.
Yeah, I'm sure you're totally depleting your intellect pool right now.
Yeah, I'd be down to like 6, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be down by like no. Do I want to do that? Do it.
Do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm doing it. We're doing it live. Okay. Fuck. Please, dice gods. Oh, I got a 15.
15, excellent. All right. Yeah. So as this like code is streaming through like a couple of gigs at least of data that's streaming through and like running through the like decryption algorithm that's like unpacking it and sorting through.
Yeah.
The code is clearly not human. It is clearly like, you know, you've experienced some alien computer code in your time, because exploring ancient ruins, that's what you find.
Yeah.
So it is unmistakably alien. You're not sure exactly what of any known extinct alien civilizations it comes from, but it is definitely alien. It is very high grade, like military, the equivalent of like a military grade subversion package that is a data mining algorithm. So
Okay.
you know this is the kind of thing you unleash on a network when you just want to gather as much information as possible and like
Okay.
vacuum it in.
Got it. And question, does Evna is Evna going to understand that this is happening as well, or would I have to tell her?
You would have to tell her because Evna's
Okay.
contribution is like this encryption algorithm that's running.
Okay.
And basically I'm going to say that what Evna did was like cook it up and like load it into your hardware.
Okay. I'm just seeing like the Matrix happening in front of me right now.
So
You're just seeing like code streaming down.
So do I have an understanding that she's peeking at my unmentionables?
That is a good point. And let's see. Emma, can I offer you another intrusion?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I'm going to give you 1 XP. Who do you want to give the other one to?
Okay. I'm gonna I will hand this over to Evna for that help there.
Okay,
Well,
perfect.
thank you.
So Joseph, you definitely like the AI is like, ooh, someone's peeking. And Emma, you can just hear as like you're looking at the code, you just hear a like, naughty, naughty.
I'm gonna look over at Joseph. Almost called you Johnny. At Joseph, and I'm gonna give you this look that is like, what the fuck are you not sharing with us?
And then there's a ding on the terminal as it's like upload complete. And the hologram is like, thank you for storing your data.
Once the once the hologram says, you know, we're complete, I'm gonna fire at the ground amnesia gas.
Oh my god, you!
I would like to point out that I was going to say this to you.
Yeah.
Nebula had basically been stood there watching this happen, got on board, and started going up the stairs or what have you.
Perfect.
So he's not even there when this is done. He's just, okay, I'm going to go wait for them outside
So the
the door.
cipher burst in an immediate distance. The cloud lingers for 1d6 rounds, and living creatures that breathe, think permanently lose all memory of the last minute.
All right. So do you want to play the card into the playing field here?
Oh man.
There we go.
There we go. So amnesia gas. So roll a d6 for me, and we'll see the level here.
8 total.
All right.
6 + 2.
And then I have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Since I work with computers and I have a bionic arm and I do things through my bionic arm, will I forget, but will the like memory coding in here, is that going to forget? Or is that going to remember that some weird data transfer went through?
That's a good question. Yeah. Because yes, you guys are going to be affected. Now, because like cybernetic, like data storage type stuff is so ubiquitous in this setting, this amnesia gas is probably more like an EMP type pulse. So when it's activated, it is like an electrical discharge that does two things. One is it scrambles your actual neurons to create this amnesia effect, but it does also, it's not able to like delete the information, but it probably scrambles it. So kind of like how amnesia isn't ever complete, you probably have the sneak-in suspicion that something weird happened. And I'm going to say that like long term, your character might be able to piece it back together, but it will take time and effort.
Got it.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
Joseph, when you put this down, is it this is going to affect you as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got my. Unlike you guys, we're all next to each other. I just banged it on the ground.
So
So
you're
wait,
not even gonna remember asking helping your AI with this.
Nope, not as such.
so let me get to. I think Nevda is anyone not affected then because he's not even in the room right now.
That's right.
Correct.
That's right. But also,
You'll
Nevda
have
is
no memory
totally
of it either because you weren't there.
because you
Yeah.
weren't there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you basically the last thing you know is like, I'm gonna upload nudes to the hotel storage. That's like
Yep. Perfect.
I am totally
Yeah.
having images of Job with his like roofie forget-me-nots
Oh, no.
in Arrested Development, like taking them
Aw.
himself.
Yep.
I have a
Shit.
very, very weird idea. This
Yeah.
probably won't be allowed, but why the hell not ask anyone with all this madness? With Nevda's background in information gathering, with his suspicion of everyone around him, including the rest of the group, would there be any way where he could have had systems constantly checking on them and basically notice something's gone on?
Probably not. Like there would be some connections back and forth, but that would like require actual intrusion software embedded in people's stuff and
Yep.
time and money that you didn't have to put together.
I didn't think it would work. I thought,
Yeah, you guys were all like pulled together pretty quick, so you didn't have the Batman planning time to get everything all set
no,
up.
I'm fine with that. I just thought I might as well just ask.
Yeah, no, it is a good idea, and in a longer form game, I think we would totally be able to set that up.
Yeah.
All right. So this like EMP goes off. Everyone forgets like the last minute, and then sort of comes to with the whole like, wait, what were we doing again? And the hologram
Where
is
did
just
Nevda
like,
go?
the room is waiting. Your companion has began ascending the stairs.
Well, let's check out the room then, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh god.
Was I gonna see your nudes?
I could just send them to you directly. I'll just hit her with like 100 of them. Enjoy.
Yeah. I might not be the one enjoying them, but someone will. Thank you so much.
It's fine. I have a only for fans account. It's fine. Joseph does, not me.
Well, like at least these weren't unsolicited dick pics. I mean,
That's right. They were quite solicited.
100%
Yes.
solicited.
There was consent in this arrangement.
That's right. That's
Absolutely.
right.
Oh god.
Yeah. And the computer system doesn't care what you upload, so
Perfect.
for storage. All right. So you guys go up the stairs to the capsule, and so this is a capsule hotel. So it ain't a room. This is like these Japanese coffin hotels, right? You go into a hallway. There's little ladders, and there's like stacked 3 high. These doors that swing open, and basically like you just slide in, and there's room to lay down. You can lay on your arm and like recline a little bit. You can actually probably sit up in it, sitting on the floor. And there's a terminal, but the whole thing is basically a mattress, bed, padded floor, padded wall. And,
Is it like in the Fifth Element when they're
Yeah.
traveling? And
Yeah,
it's like
100%. Yeah, a little bit bigger. Like I said, you could sit up in it. And there is also like a safe basically where you can store things. And I think we're going to take a quick break here so that we can go be human and pull bio breaks and that sort of thing. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, welcome back, and thanks for joining us as we return. So when we left, you had encountered the capsule. So it's easy to access. Tarson had the capsule sort of on the bottom, so you can all stand in the hallway, kind of clustered around its door, leading into this small padded interior There's like an entertainment terminal screen kind of thing. There's like bedding there, and there is a safe at the back for storing personal belongings. And there is a duffel bag and some clothes.
Oh,
that are
so we
tossed in
went
there.
right in.
Well, so you can see like the door. Basically, if you crack it open, because you've got the access code, this is what you'd be able to see. Two
Got it.
people could fit in here. Obviously, any more than that,
is-
it's a real tight squeeze.
I will accept apologies. That's absolutely fine if everyone wants to take a turn apologizing profusely to Joseph. Saying how they were wrong, admitting their faults. That's fine.
Evan is gonna walk in and try her hand at that safe.
All right. So you kind of have to like slide/crawl right in, sort of pushing yourself along to the safe. And it is one that appears to be encoded, but I am sure that essentially the access code that Glitch has probably unlocks the safe as well as the door.
Hey, Glitch, you want to squeeze in here with me?
I would love to. And she's gonna crawl in there, and so am I just using? Do I have the code? Do I just? type it
It's
in there?
basically you just have to like put your terminal up near it, and it sort of
Okay.
will just unlock.
Okay, I do that.
Yeah, and you can hear just like a little click. It doesn't appear to be a heavy duty safe. It's really just intended to put, some moderate valuables in. When it pops open, you can see a couple of things inside. There's a couple of packets of various kinds and credit chips, which are unusual. Basically, credit chips are used as like anonymous currency. Normally, people just transfer everything digitally and electronically, but if you don't want something to be tracked, you can load it down on disposable chips for transferring money. It's like the Bitcoin of...
It's like the opposite of Bitcoin because it's physical.
Yeah, except it's physical. Yeah, it is actually just like American dollars, right? Good old fashioned cash that can't really be tracked.
So that's not shady at all.
Yeah, there's probably like a couple of thousand credits there
Wow.
in untraceable currency.
What are in the packets?
That is a good question, because we should find out. There are 2 packets there. And let's see. 2.
I hear a kitty cat.
Yeah, she's meowing. Alright, so I play these. There is a small projector of some kind of device that projects, you're pretty sure projects sort of hard light, sort of force field of some kind. And that one isn't gonna work. This one.
Smashing.
And yeah, that's not interesting. Another one dealt here. Oh, here we go.
The cat is getting more aggressive.
Yeah, she does. Oh yeah, that sounds good. All right. There is this like little black box box with a button on it.
Yes.
Is
it the Invisible Sun RPG?
There's an unfoldable black cube. It's got a glyph on it.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm gonna hand that over to Nevda and be like, have you I feel like you know anything about this?
So
Let me take. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you know just by looking that these are strange devices. You've got a couple you're already handling, so you're seeing these. You know you can sort of only take possession of a couple. Basically, these are ciphers, so if you try and physically carry them, anyone who's already loaded up with 3, you're going to have other ones that go kaplooey.
You know, I've got space in my bag for one of those marvelous devices.
But
I'm going to take this one.
One of these.
Just clarify, we don't know what they do. Is that correct? We don't know what...
Yeah. You can try and identify it when it's like sitting there.
Oh, yeah. Nepto is definitely going to start poking and looking over it. And
Yep. Do you want to look at the little projector device or the black cube?
Look at the projector device first.
Okay. Roll a d6 for me.
That's a 5.
All right. 6, 7, 8. So this is a level 8 force screen projector.
Okay, this one is a quite powerful projector of a I suppose you could call it a force field, if anyone would like to claim it.
Yes, I can tell that. I too can identify things. Isn't that wonderful?
Good for you, Joseph. Good for you. I suppose someone else would like to claim the other one then, without it being identified as to its exact nature.
You don't.
Sure.
I'll take the mysterious black box.
All right. Seeing if I can. I think if you right-click on the card, you might be able to click Take Card. Yeah.
I'll take the force screen. How wonderful.
All right. And the black box, it interferes with mental processes. So it creates like a weird EMP field that would interfere with mental processes, but also like wireless computer communications and like all that sort of thing.
Yep. I grabbed that one because I'm not trusting Joseph with that kind of ability again.
What do you mean?
I don't know what I'm talking about. What?
Yeah, exactly. You have no idea.
Did you say there was a duffel bag?
Yeah, there's a duffel bag with some clothes and stuff stashed in it.
Could never just start poking through it, looking for hidden seams or hidden pockets or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be a search task. You don't know the level. So do you have any special skills related to searching and like investigating?
I have tasks involving identifying or assessing danger, lies, quality, importance, function, or power. Would that apply?
I think danger and lies, like hidden compartments, seem totally appropriate. So you can apply that skill. And do you want to apply any effort?
Would that be?
This would be intellect, yeah.
Yes.
All right, so you can spend 3 points from your intellect pool to apply a level of effort.
Okay, and I'll roll to see what I get. That is an 18.
Okay, so you're searching through the duffel bag, and you find that one of the seams. So, like when you're looting through it, there's clothes, obviously. There's a handgun tucked at the bottom of the duffel bag. That's not illegal, so it's just there. But when you're sorting through, one of the seams you notice is like a false seam, and when you unpeel it, it comes out as this like big long strip, and you can tell it's got this like putty inside.
Do I know what it is immediately, or would that require another
You
roll?
don't know what it is immediately. This is more of a like identifying a substance. So if you have any skills related to like chemistry or like some more like scientific type abilities.
I don't, but I'll give a go at seeing if I can't figure out what it is anyway.
Okay. All right. Again, you don't know what the level is here. So if you don't have any special skills, you can apply effort.
I think I'll do that. That is an 11.
Yeah, you are not sure what it is.
Does anyone want to have a go at seeing if you can't figure what this is? It's outside of my my knowledge range, I'm afraid.
I actually I'm assuming with my lab analysis.
Yeah, you actually you've got like a portable lab kit that you could use to
I'm
to
such a
investigate
weird kid.
it. Is it housed in your arm?
Yes, it
Is it
sure
like
is.
is it like Inspector Gadget?
Yes, 100%. Yep, absolutely.
Just like all these like tools and
Yes.
stuff unfold out of the
Unfold
arm, and
start
like you
clicking
load
and
in the
you're
sample, and
Yes.
yeah, just like a little mass spec machine in there.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Starts doing
Anytime-
isotope analysis.
Anytime Glitch uses her arm, Evna is low-key checking her out.
Oh, do I see this? Do I notice her checking me out? Because I'm gonna wink real hard, but it's gonna be awkward. Like,
Oh yeah,
Do I wink?
she's extremely obvious about it.
perfect.
It's like that arm. Oh, that's hot.
Oh, goodness.
Bionic arm.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll something for this?
So you do have to spend intellect. So you have to spend 3 intellect.
Sick. I'm almost depleted, y'all. Just in case.
So you do have. This would be a good time to talk about recoveries.
Yep.
So you've got recoveries. Your first recovery is just an action to do.
Okay.
So it might be a good idea to do that, and you can roll a d6 and allocate those points back to any pools as you see fit.
Okay. So can I go ahead and do that and roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck off. 2. So
Okay.
I'm gonna add that back.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay, so actually, so you start your system going, you throw a sample in. Roll me 2d20. So that's how many minutes this will take.
2 d20s.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Okay. Okay. I got a 15 and an 11.
Okay. So yeah, so it's gonna take 26 minutes as it like whirs. You can see a little countdown clock that's like telling you how long like is remaining in the analysis.
Oh my goodness, a half an hour.
But you can do other things while it's happening. So now you do still have to make you're gonna have to make a check.
Okay.
But this has like shifted the difficulty quite a lot.
Okay.
So you don't have any skills in chemistry, but you can, if you wish, spend more intellect to apply effort in sort of analyzing the data that comes out.
I don't know. I'm not super keen on spending any more intellect, but also why not?
So you do have more rest. Let me just double check the recoveries because it's different between Cypher and Invisible Sun. And I forget what they are. I know the first one is an action, and I think the second one is
The second
10
is 10
minutes.
minutes, the third is an hour, and then it's 10 hours.
Yeah. Okay. So like you could spend, and then you could take another 10-minute recovery like immediately afterwards, while, or actually before, like while the analysis is running.
Yes.
So you can sort of just, sit and meditate a little bit, refocus yourself, recharge your mental batteries.
She'll just sit there and have a cigarette, and that'll.
All right,
She
so
doesn't
go ahead.
meditate that often.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll a d6 first.
Another 2.
All right, so another 2 points applied back to your pool.
Great. Super great. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I will spend some intellect on this.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can spend 3 to apply a level of effort and roll a d20 for me.
Okay. We're gonna do that. Fuck off. What a 4.
All right. So your analysis runs, and it spits out a whole bunch of stuff. It gives you like chemical composition, but you're like staring at it, being like, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I mean, you've got like a chemical analysis, but you don't
Right.
yourself know exactly what it is.
Well, that's useful. Anybody heard anything about chemistry?
But other people might be able to attempt something with the. Now, of course, you can spend an experience to re-roll.
What does the experience do?
So your experience, you gain it in a bunch of ways. You can use it to improve your character.
Okay.
But a pretty frequent use is probably about half the experience you accumulate typically in Cypher. People use to like re-roll checks and things like that.
Great. I'll totally do that then.
Yeah, so you just need to spend 1 point of experience that you've accumulated so far. So just subtract it off your total there, and go ahead and re-roll.
I'm not using that fucking dice anymore. Okay, 13.
Okay. So yes, this time. So when you're sitting, you kind of take a second look at it, and it is definitely a high grade explosive.
Ooh.
Like specifically, it is a somewhat unusual chemical composition that is well known for being manufactured. It's like it is the plastic explosive of choice of the Anarchist Alliance, specifically because it's easy to get through a lot of scanners. It's kind of difficult to analyze. It looks like a relatively inert substance, and so it's easy to smuggle.
Ooh.
So that took 27 minutes, was it?
That's going to take 27 minutes while that's running, yeah. So what's everyone else doing while Glitch is like letting the arm run and like smoking against all lab safety protocols?
I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I'm just like stomping around for a minute, and then I'm going to walk up to Nevda. Be like, so, Nevda, how goes it, buddy?
Nevda is consumed on checking those dead emails of his dead addresses, seeing if he's got any information, not just from the previous interaction, but just from his past experience. He's just going over that, and he's blanking the world completely.
I'm leaning over, and I just kind of push the phone down, or what did the device down. I'm like, hey, hi, how are you?
What can I do for you, Joseph?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm just sitting here waiting for Miss Science over there to get done with a spec. I'm bored, Nevda.
Good for you, Joseph. I have work to be done, if you don't mind.
Kind of take his tie and kind of push it up a little. I'm like, you're always working, Nevda. Always working.
Nevda leans in slightly, and his voice changes. I told you I was working, Joseph. If you would please leave me alone so I can get my business completed in a timely fashion. That is if you don't mind me being so forthright, of course.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Thank you. Now leave me be, please.
Just saying, nice hotel, capsules, two men with nothing better to do. There are worse situations.
Let me be completely blunt with you, Joseph. Your proclivities are not my own. Your interest in the bodies of others is, frankly, to me, uninteresting. I do not understand your attraction to it. If you'd please leave me be. Your mind is certainly not engaging enough to attract my attention.
Fair enough. I'll go wander the halls.
Nevda doesn't like these meat suits.
Yeah, apparently not. It's not the first time I've been rejected. Certainly.
Evna is like kind of sitting down next to Glitch while she's like doing her like lab thing, and is just like, it's pretty cool stuff they're doing there.
Yep.
Science. Like science. I also maybe sometime I could show you my ship, and like we could go for a ride.
Yes, please.
Yes. I like hold up like a picture of my ship, and her name's Jamie. Just like talk about the specs of my spaceship for a little bit. Awkwardly trying to flirt with the cute science girl.
And Glitch is just like infatuated. She's like, that's so cool. It's really cool.
Can do the Kessel run in 12 parsecs.
Awesome.
Is it though like a rusty bucket of bolts? Ship?
It is, but it's like has a sick ass paint job. It's like a berry red with like a yellow stripe on it.
I was gonna say, it doesn't have a go fast stripe.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. All right, and then eventually it beeps, and Glitch figures out that it is a high grade explosive. About that time, Nevda, you get a chime from your little alert system, and you get a data packet drops in, and it just says one of ... I don't know how many. Your friend.
Okay. He just immediately starts opening up, picking through it, essentially analyzing it himself, looking for relevant information.
It's a video feed. So basically, someone sent you a video file, and it runs, and you can see a figure that matches. You get a little sort of annotated description, and it says that it matches your algorithmic parameters. And when you look at it, it seems to be an image of Tarson Valora leaving the factory, wearing like a factory worker's jumpsuit, and it is time-stamped 10 minutes before the explosion.
Okay.
And then the video feed sort of fades out. There's like a virtual like lips sort of like appear on the screen, like someone kissing it. And it says, "Wait for more, honey."
I assume this has all been done like mentally through his own upgrades.
Yeah, you're just pulling it in your own computer systems.
So Nevda sends back a little data file with some of his own funds and his own message of, "A quick tip for a quick bit of work. I'm most impressed." And starts, if he can, to he basically starts downloading into his own systems anything that he sees of note. Basically,
well, I mean, the video files, like, it is downloaded. It's
sorry.
It's in your system. You have the video.
Yeah. I think, like Matt said, Samuel doesn't know tech, Nevda does. So
Yeah, this is definitely ubiquitous computing, and so like the difference between local and cloud is essentially meaningless.
Okay. I think I might have some information. Tarsin was cited leaving the factory only a short while before the explosion, dressed in a worker's uniform. Perhaps it might be worth now going to investigate the source of the explosion itself. We have, after all, explosives with us, so perhaps we can try and confirm if it is this grade of explosive that caused the damage.
Nicely done, Nebda. You surprised me.
Thank you, Glitch. I live to serve after all.
I'm gonna like slam my hand along his on his arm and be like, "Good job, you're doing great." Just like a little too hard.
Evna, can I offer you an intrusion?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
All right, who would you like to give the other point of experience to?
I'm gonna give it to Nevda because I loved his RP with Joseph.
Excellent. All right. So when you're sitting there, you're sort of, initially besotted by Glitch's rad AF sciencing and that metal arm, because that metal arm, I mean, come on.
That metal
right?
arm. Yeah.
I know. And so, you, as things are happening, you kind of have to pop out of the capsule, take your turn standing in the hallway, stretch.
Right.
And when you're glancing up, you notice that the air vent running down the hallway, one of the access points on the air vent pops open, and a couple of long, thin metallic legs slide out of the vent, and this bulbous metallic spider security drone pops out and then drops to the hallway and sort of flexes up. It's, like the size of a large dog, basically. It's got like 8 segmented legs, an armored carapace, and a whole bunch of like eye sensors. Excellent. All right. Go ahead and shoot at it. So what do you have for a weapon?
She pulls out her double pistols.
Excellent. All right. So you pull out the double pistols, and these are, oh right, if I remember right, this was like one medium weapon, but we're just flavoring it as 2. Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So go ahead and make a roll. I'm trying to remember if
I rolled an 18.
An 18. Okay, absolutely. So you're like as you fire off. So this is a medium weapon, so it does 4 points of damage. And so there is a like cracking sound as they slam into the metal skin, of this droid, and a couple of little guns pop out from underneath its carapace and like whirl up. And so everyone needs to make a speed roll. We're going to see here, basically determine initiative.
So how does that work? So
you're gonna make a roll. You're comparing it to the level of the spider in this case, and basically determining if you come before or after it. Okay. If you are trained in initiative, which is a skill you could possibly have, then again it works like anything else. Otherwise, you're just making a roll. You can apply effort, so that's why it's speed, because you can apply effort from your speed pool if you want to try and go quicker.
Okay, and that adds 3. What does that add to the roll?
If you apply, functionally in this case, you can invert it from how Cypher usually works and think about just adding to your roll. So if you're
Okay.
applying a level of effort, it would be like adding 3.
Okay then.
I rolled a 12, and I'm trained in initiative.
Okay, so we'll treat it like a 15, basically.
9.
Okay, 9.
And I'm down the hallway, so
Yeah.
until I hear that bang bang, am I gonna come around?
Bang, bang.
I got
Daddy-o.
15 as well.
15, okay.
I got 13.
13, all right. So Joseph is going to be the last to go. Everyone else sort of goes before this, before the spider does. And Evna already went, so basically got the drop already on it. So what is Nevda doing? You just heard like behind you. You weren't watching. You just then all of a sudden heard 2 shots in the hallway.
So this immediately draws me out of my my data, and I spin around, seeing what is there. I just go, "Oh bloody hell, Nevda! You couldn't have let it try and be solved non-violently. Oh, what the hell am I complaining? I love this." Draw both pistols, and I'm taking 2 shots
Okay.
because I wield 2 weapons at once, so 2 light
All right.
weapons.
Yep. So you got 2 light weapons.
Mhm.
So go ahead and yep. And so again, so in combat, firing things, you can always spend effort from your speed pool to sort of
Mhm.
enhance your accuracy.
I'm not going to do that, but I am going to trigger my Pierce ability, which
Okay.
add an additional point of damage to both of my weapons. So 3
Alright.
with each pistol.
Okay, and light weapons always reduce the difficulty by 1. It's always
Mhm.
easier to hit with a light weapon. And you're also trained, right?
I don't. I'm practiced with all weapons.
Yep. Okay.
Help.
Yep.
So that is a 14 on the roll.
Okay. So that hits. And what does your pierce do?
It basically adds 1 point of damage to both of my pistols.
Okay. Excellent.
So it's
So
3
they
to
each
hit.
do 3 instead of 2.
Mhm.
All
Yep.
right. So there is another quick couple of shots. And you see like some smoking holes that have like penetrated into this spider drone.
Mhm.
And,
and
oh yeah, go ahead.
Particularly unique about Nevda is he used old-fashioned versions of guns, basically slugs.
Okay,
Mm.
yeah. So they're not like caseless ammunition. It's not like a mini rail gun or something. It's
No.
like old-fashioned like revolvers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's literally revolvers. He has
Yeah.
2 revolvers on his waist.
All right. So yeah, so those left 2 holes. So Glitch, you're sort of like hanging out in the capsule. You've just finished your analysis, sort of finishing your cigarette, and you just hear this eruption of gunfire in the hallway.
Like cigarette hanging out of her mouth. Can she like kind of like lean out and just
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, I'm gonna like just lean out and take my pistol. I'm like, fucked up, you guys, and shoot it.
Okay.
Do I roll a d20 to do that?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a D20. So your pistol, is it light or medium?
It's medium.
Medium. Okay.
It's like a
And- but-
handgun.
Yeah, but you're trained in light medium weapons, so you're reducing the functional difficulty by 1 for that. Yeah, you're otherwise. So again, you could apply effort from speed if you want to, or you can just take a shot.
I'm just gonna take a shot. I got an 18.
Absolutely. So an 18 actually triggers a minor effect.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Wasn't that 19 and 20 that does the effects?
There's extra
Ooh.
effects
Oh, it's that.
for
Okay.
yeah. Like a 17 through a 20 does extra damage at the very least in combat.
I'm picturing like a social roll. You roll 17, bang.
Yeah, in like regular stuff, it's basically 1 and 19 and 20, but in combat, you get extra stuff on a
Cool.
couple of other rolls. And looking it up here. Special rolls. 18. If the roll is damage dealing, it deals 2 additional points of damage.
Cool.
So you do 6. So you actually pull out this like hand cannon, right? Because like a medium pistol is like a 357 Magnum kind of thing. You fire one shot, sort of just leaning out casually, cigarette hanging out of your mouth.
Yes.
And it impacts like square in the head of the drone, and the head explodes. And then the drone just like collapses to the ground in like smoking, twisted metal.
I'm gonna look over at Evna and like wink at her.
Nailed it.
I'll come around the corner with my I have my disintegration ray cipher already drawn. Ah! Oh. All right. And I'll put it away. That was...
Glitch, you want to take a look at this thing?
Yeah, I could do that. I guess I will examine it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a close inspection, it is like sort of a matte black color, standard issue security drone, like spider bot, basically, are relatively common, deployed by all means. This actually has the branding of the hotel on it.
Oops.
Oh!
Do we hear anything like anyone who might be in any of the capsules?
Yeah, there's people.
Good point. It is the middle of the day.
How many shots just went off? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots just went off, right?
Yes. You just like poof, 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 poof. Down the hall, you hear a capsule pop open, and a man and a woman sort of like lean out, and you can see like just like shoulders up. They appear to, bare shoulders at the very least. When they lean out, and they see everyone standing in the hotel, and the guy just shakes his head and says, "We saw nothing," and then they go in and close the door.
I think this is coming out of your wallet, Jeff.
Oh, that's fine.
Of course it is.
Nevda, since like you were scanning around, this is going to be a perception-based task. You don't know the difficulty. I think we already established you don't necessarily have any special skills, but if you want to make a roll here for the perception to see what else you might see, you could apply effort from intellect if you wish.
Yep, and after this I'll do an action to recover from recovery from intellect, but for now
Sounds
I'll
good.
That is that's 16.
Okay, excellent.
I keep instinctively going to look to what do I need to add to it. It's
don't add. Yeah. Just give me the flat roll. Yeah. All of the cameras in the hallway are off.
Okay. Just quickly going to do a recovery. Okay, that's a 2.
Twos are a common theme on the recovery rolls today.
Apparently.
Do we all get recovery rolls?
He used his action, so like you've got 4 recoveries you can use in the course of a day. A single action, so like 10 seconds basically. 10 minutes, an hour, and then the last one is like a couple of hours.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but there seems to be a distinct lack of active cameras in this area. Glitch, would you be so kind as to perhaps check out the systems?
Oh, we couldn't. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you said something and we couldn't hear you. But
Oh. uh, so I guess I will try to check out their security systems that they're using.
Yeah,
Like,
so you want to investigate the security system. You basically, yeah, if you look around, there would be some form of terminal that you could access,
okay.
or establish some sort of wireless connection or something,
Yeah.
and hack your way in. Or there's also like the spider drone itself, which would have like onboard memory and maybe some functional connections.
Just by looking at the spider, would I be able to tell if we had like destroyed those bits and pieces of it since we kind of wailed on it?
Uh, yeah, so a bunch of its sensors and components are smashed, but usually they have like a black box that's
Okay.
in the middle of the abdomen, relatively well protected, so that if anything happens, the odds of recovering something from it are good.
I guess I will try to access that then.
Okay. All right.
And then,
So,
y'all, if you want me to keep doing this, I'm gonna need to take some time to breathe and rest.
yeah, your cybernetic implants are like running hot. Your
There.
brain just feels, you can feel that pressure behind your eyeballs.
Yep.
All right. So you can take a couple of approaches here.
Yep.
You could get some quick and dirty information, just like easily quick access, or primary functions with your hacker ability, which is just 2 intellect. Or you can spend 1 intellect to jack in as an asset and try like a more difficult, hacking memory data retrieval attempt, to get more elaborate information.
No, let's go ahead and I'm gonna just try and like straight up use the hacker skill.
Okay, so spend 2 intellect points.
Running low, you guys.
It's your world.
I'm gonna be real useless after this. Okay.
And what kind of information are you looking to retrieve?
I'm actually gonna ask. I'll ask the group what kind of information they'd like me to be searching for on here before I start.
If you could find like maybe some camera footage to see when the last time Tarson left this place.
Would I be able to do that by accessing the Spidey bro?
The quick access on the spider bot would probably be would not include like more in-depth video feeds from the hotel.
Okay.
This would be more like what commands were recently issued to it, like its onboard footage, okay, that sort of thing.
So I'm gonna, yeah. So basically, to the group, I'm gonna say, we're gonna have to kind of make a decision here if we want to know, like perhaps when the cameras were shut off and maybe why, or do we want to know when she was last around, and if in that case I'm gonna need to access a different computer system.
Well, I would like to know why the cameras were off when a security bot came at us.
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
So I guess I'll try to see the last keystrokes in the last
Okay.
commands I made.
All right. Yeah, so you basically get pretty quick access to like the log buffer of security commands that were issued to the bot, deploying it from its location to deal with. Basically, it had instructions that there was a security breach on your floor, and it didn't have any specific targeting information. Like, it didn't have any recognition for individual faces. It just had like a location deal with security issue on this floor, this hallway. And it also has the memory of an override for the cameras issued at the same time, and a login So you notice that the series of commands came from a remote login request. So it wasn't issued from inside the hotel. And you have basically like an IP number, which is something that you could use for additional investigation to see exactly where that came from. Oh, sorry, we couldn't hear there.
Sorry,
Oh.
I'm gonna relay that to the group. What do we want to do?
I haven't the slightest clue. What do you think?
Are you capable in any way, Glitch, of finding the location of this remote access? I ever thought that perhaps the person we're hunting isn't liking the fact that she's been hunted.
No one likes being hunted. Well, sometimes we do. What would I need to do to determine, like, would I be able to find the location, or is it one of those, like, would I be able to like triangulate where this IP address?
Yeah, you could, it would be some more detailed, like, sit down, access various computer systems, run a bunch of software, that sort of thing. It would be, like a computer based investigation of some kind to try and track down where it came from and how many proxies it was behind and
oh, buddy,
all that fun stuff.
I'm assuming that's going to be challenging.
Just as a thought before you start, Glitch, perhaps we should not be standing in the very location where we were potentially just attacked. Might perhaps we remove ourselves to, I don't know, a random bar in the area and make use of the being in a different place.
Ah, you're a smart one. I knew we kept you around for a reason.
Yes, precisely. I live to serve, of course.
So do we so since I have been doing all this analysis on like all of these various things there, and I like have all of that information, like if we could essentially return this room to normal and walk away, and we would all still have the same information.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to pack up the duffel bag and attempt to put it like in the same position that it was, but I also really don't care that much.
Yeah.
And maybe shut the safe and then close the door and walk out.
Perfect. Great.
Wait, can we like shove the spider in there so people don't just see the destroyed spider?
Oh yeah, I guess we could do that too.
Yeah, it'll fit in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That'll be a surprise for her when she comes back here if she does. Merry Christmas.
Did you finish your analysis? Did I miss that?
Yep, she got like that it was this explosive.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like all this is pointing signs towards she probably was the person who did this. So is our next step trying to find her?
Well, I think the next step would be to try to figure out. I'm wondering if Nevda and I are thinking the same thing, that this Harson is aware that she's being hunted and is attempting to ensure that people are not tampering with her stuff.
Well, I mean, she has been remarkably skilled in evading capture so far, so I think it would be a safe bet to assume.
So maybe if we figure out where this IP address takes us, it also might take us to her.
Oh, I mean, I completely doubt that. I mean, she's definitely much too smart, or at least I would hope so, to have attempted this from the same location as the IP address, but I mean, whatever you say, Glitch. I will follow your lead on this.
I mean, at least it's a start.
It would be a start, yes.
She's clearly not too smart since there's footage of her leaving the scene of the crime. She forgot to take care of that little bit.
But then there's footage of everyone everywhere. You're always being watched. There's as I said, too many eyes in a city.
After that comforting note, I put my hand on your shoulder. Let's get going.
So
All
I guess
right.
are we trying to find a skeezy nearby bar?
There is definitely all kinds of skeezy nearby bars.
Could Nevda keep an eye out for one that's in kind of like a blind spot of cameras and devices?
I don't think that exists.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but
like
Do I have like a bat cave that I can take us back to?
I mean, you guys are doing legitimate investigations, right? So you don't actually have a whole lot. Like you're licensed security contractors. You're on a licensed contract. The surveillance is run by the corporations, the city government, and the police. And so as far as all of them concerned, you're totally on legitimate business.
that's fair. Okay, I assume then just a random bar, the first bar we come across.
There's two bars nearby. One of them is called Saddle Up, and it's like a retro cowboy bar, Martian cowboy bar.
Yeah.
And the other one is the Velvet Glove, and it's like a burlesque bar.
Also into it.
I'm going there. Yes.
The toughest choice of this whole game.
Yeah.
I'm following Evna.
Burlesque it is.
Fair enough.
You know, they should really combine their bars to a cowboy burlesque bar.
Okay. Am I the only one who thinks that Dallas goes to the cowboy bar?
He goes to the
Probably.
cowboy bar for many reasons.
I am writing down the names of all these locations, by the way.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, on the way, Nevda would check his that dump email again because you said it was one of countless others. Just check and see if anything else has arrived.
No.
Okay.
It was just because she has no idea, like, given the super broad parameters of what you were requesting, she's got no idea how much she's going to have to give to you.
Okay then.
All right. So you find yourself in a burlesque club. There is dancers of all varieties on the stage: male, female, organic bodies, synthetic bodies. There's pumping, I don't know, Mars dub beats pumping out.
So let's find out where she sent the thing from, shall we?
I wonder if this DJ's on Marstagram.
I look at the DJ. Do I recognize the DJ?
Yeah. There's a DJ with a like a robotic body, so it's a synthetic DJ. You actually know that this DJ's an android who has taken the name of Live Mouse.
Ah!
I look over at Live Mouse and I'm like, I will respond to Evan and be like, yeah, they're on Monstagram, all right.
Yeah. And they spell theirs like MOU53.
EJ's the worst.
So I'm gonna see if there's like a table in the corner, but I'm also super distracted by like all of the AI on stage. I'm like, Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so there's all that going on. People generally don't bother you. It's a nice club for that sort of thing. So yeah, so trying to track down the origins of this IP address is going to be a level 5 difficulty. But you've immediately got your whole computer science thing kicking in, so that reduces it from a 5 to a 4.
Okay.
Evna, are you gonna help possibly with some cryptographic type stuff?
Yeah.
That might
I
apply
can do
here.
that. Yeah, I can decipher. Cool. I spent my intellect point.
All right.
And anything to spend more time with Glitch.
Yeah, you have to set up a data connection with her arm and like load the cryptographic algorithms in.
That's so
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm just waiting for the day that she interfaces with my ship. That's just
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean that's where this kind of future is headed, right? That like data connection is intimate.
Sure is. We're
I mean, when
connected.
someone's cybernetic arm interfaces with your badass ship.
Like
Okay.
it's practically getting married.
Yeah. It's like moving in together.
Right?
So that's an asset. So we're at a difficulty of 3.
Okay.
Typical lesbians already married.
Married, moving in.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. I'm rolling now. Let's
All
go.
right.
Ooh. Okay. I got a 13.
13. Yeah. So because it was we'd got it down to a 3, right?
Oh
Yes. So 9 or higher.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So it does, like, there are some proxies involved and encrypted transmissions in the chain link when you go and sort of try and pull these logs out and the information.
Okay.
But you finally managed to track down the source. And it is a terminal, and you pull up, like, as part of this, you're getting like associated information. It came from a terminal of a worker at Monolith Systems, who is actually basically like the equivalent of a foreman at the factory. But it came from his terminal at the like city headquarters where he has his office. So he's like a production supervisor, but he's not on site. He's like an off-site production supervisor for the factory. And you have a name.
Ooh.
And his name is Darren Hansel.
All right.
So, quick question. Going back to that video that I received.
Yep.
The uniform that Tarzan was wearing, was there any identification on it? Any employee
They would be
number?
relatively plain, just like a gray coverall with the Monolith Systems and then whatever like the subsidiary name of their like subsidiary that manufactures at the plant.
Okay. So no like employee number or anything like that.
Well, yeah, there's probably a name, yeah, like stitched on, printed on, and let's use, because it was not her name, so let's use the NPC deck. Yep, Jocelyn Clement. So it was J. Clement was what was stitched on.
Okay, I'll give the name to Glitch to do with as she might see fit.
Thank you.
Also, with Glitch doing the research and backtracing, how long would that take? Would I have time to take a 10-minute vest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's something that would take, at least 10-20 minutes.
Okay, I'm going to make another recovery roll then. Better that time. 6.
Oh, nice.
All right. So you've got some names and you've got some locations.
Well, what do
Let's
we?
go find some people.
Well, as I see it now, we can go and track down this J. Clement. We could obviously look in at Darren, or we could investigate the source of the explosion itself and potentially compare it against the chemical layout that you already have, Glitch, just to confirm that it might indeed be Tarzan responsible.
Well, even if we compare the two, it might not confirm if she's responsible or not.
Right.
Oh.
I feel like
She's
it's safe
supposed
to
be an
assume.
explosives expert, so
Let's just track her down, or do our best to track that. Let's not try to compare the chemicals. Let's just do the other thing.
yeah.
the
I
thing
think
is
following our people trails is probably a better idea. I'm curious
Absolutely.
about Aaron Hansel.
All right. Well, where we have a decision point, because as I said to our players earlier, this wasn't necessarily going to be a one-shot, but part of a larger story.
Yes.
And so I think that's actually a good place for us to wrap, to leave our players with some questions on what they want to follow up on a part 2.
Perfect.
All right. So yes, a piece of the larger whole. So we will end there for the evening. Just quick announcement. Basically, tune in Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. DM Corey, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Eugenio Vargas, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern, Dragon Heist / one shot from the Feels crew, also Eugenio Vargas, so lots of our players that were returning for a special 2-parter that began last Tuesday. Thursday, we will be back with more Bleeding Edge. Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m, I will be kicking off another Dungeon of the Mad Mage level. No Invisible Sun, because I have to go celebrate a friend who just successfully defended their PhD
Nice.
last week, and so he's having a party, so I'll be unavailable for Invisible Sun this week. But that's what's coming up on the channel, and we'll go around, remind us who you are, where people can find you, plug anything you get going on that you would like to plug, and your favorite moment from the game. So let's go in a reverse order and start with Sam.
Right, so I'm Samuel. I can be found on Twitter as Eldritch Warlock. I think tomorrow, if tomorrow is Monday, because my brain is dead right now, I think, referencing Brain Dead, I think 7 UTC, unless I've got that wrong, I will be appearing on the RPG Lab with their College of the Doors campaign.
Awesome.
And next Saturday at 4 p.m. UTC, on the same place, the RPG Lab, where if we have enough players, I will hopefully be running a one-shot of my own creation, which will not
Excellent.
go wrong in any way, I am sure, and I've just jinxed it. Let's see, favourite moment. I think just the whole thing with the AI, with the amnesia grenade, that whole debacle is just perfect. I was trying so hard not to laugh during all that, so disturb it, and I think that just makes it worthy of praise.
Perfect. Morgan, what about you?
Hi, I'm Morgan Robbins. You can find me on Twitter at the FemDM, TheFemmedM. You can also find me on Instagram at the FemDM, except there's underscores between those things. I had a lot of fun today. I still keep an eye out on Twitter. There are announcements coming. Some things have been pushed back, but fun things are happening. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with horror movies.
Woo!
Excellent.
I'm
Awesome.
very excited about it. And my favorite moment from the game, I mean, I did love the whole Amnesia Blast thing, but I'm going to try and say something different. So I think probably I think there was just like a lot of awesome RP in this game, and I really liked all the different dynamics we had going on. So just kind of like a general praise to everyone for their awesome like getting into character stuff. Yeah.
Excellent.
Good on you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Matthew.
It's me. That's how I always, when people say my name. I'm Matthew Foreman. You can find me at Matthew W. Foreman on Twitter. I am a D&D guy, tabletop nerd, and I run The Ghost of the Machine on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central on Twitch TV/Dice Priori. And I also play Johnny in Dragon Heist campaign on Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Central. And my favorite moment today, and that's also on Dice Priori, obviously. My favorite moment is the flirting between the femmes, because as I have recently come out about, I am a filthy Dungeons and Dragons shipper. I never ship when I watch any other content, but when I watch D&D and tabletop games, I ship like I'm a shipper from way back. And so I continue to search for my own romance between a player and I, but our characters. And the search continues as I was sadly rejected. Joseph was rejected.
Yeah, Glitch's awkward winking was the best.
Yes. The best. Yeah.
Oh yes.
I loved it. I'm here for it. I'm here to facilitate all of your shipping, Matthew.
Thank you.
Excellent. And with that, Emma.
So I am Emma Hansen. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. I talk about a lot of nerd stuff, a lot of D&D stuff. I don't do anything else. And my favorite moment from today. Oh, okay. Everyone said what I was gonna say. So, but I think that I really appreciated early on in the beginning, Sam, when you were role playing at the beginning there. That was spicy. That was really good. I
assume the shift from the stuttering to the more focused and slightly darker side of him.
Yeah, that was great. That was cool.
I'm glad you loved it, because that was literally the last second idea. So.
It was perfect.
Excellent. All right. So yes, of course, you can find me on Twitter as well at MadsciDM, where I also mostly just talk nerd things and occasional science. Here on Variant Roles always. And my favorite moment was introducing another person to Cypher for the first time, which is always one of my favorite things.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Well, thank you very much. And so yes, we will be back possibly with some same players. Possibly some different players on Thursday, and it will either be the direct continuation of this, depending on what mix of people we have available, or it will relate to it somehow, but tie in and be a little bit different. So stay tuned, and we will be back. And thank you all for tuning in, and have a good rest of your day. Bye, everybody.
Bye all.